All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon, Queenie, Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Priti Patel has signed an order to extradite Julian Assange to the United States, where he will face espionage charges. The Home Office has confirmed that within the last few minutes. We'll bring you more information as we get it. In the meantime, a little bit of a handbrake turn, I should say here. 2 years ago, the motorcycle brand Norton was bought out by TVS Motor Company after going into administration. Well, fast forward to today, and they are about to start selling the very first bike in the new Norton era. Over the last 2 years, the company has built a brand new multi-million-pound headquarters in Solihull and has recently received a £100 million investment, which could lead to around 1,000 new local jobs. And today it's announced plans to begin building electric motorcycles as well in the UK. Well, joining me now is Robert Henschel. He is Chief Executive of Norton Motorcycles. Robert, really good to see you this morning. I love a story like this. It's sort of a phoenix from the ashes in 2 years.
Good morning, Samantha. Yes, you're right. We have exciting times. And we are also very proud at the moment that we, after 2 years of starting the journey with New Norton, that we have now first product on the market.
You had quite a challenge to turn it around. What were some of the big things that you had to address?
The biggest things we had to address at the beginning was the legacy of the old Norton company, because we had a lot of products in the market with quality, even safety relevant problems. And we have to tackle the customer complaints. We had to start re-engineering the bikes. And now we are setting up the sales network. So it's quite a lot of challenges in parallel. But it was exciting, it is exciting.
Yeah, sounds like a headache, though, dealing with safety concerns and customer complaints. You also had a long waiting list of unfulfilled orders, didn't you? So you're having to put people right there, and you're now launching new models. Just tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, we just launched the V4 SV Superbike, and we have deposit holders for this bike, roughly 70, and roughly 44 owners with a defect bike from old company, and we will first look after old deposit holders before we contact new customers. And we just also contacted our first commando customers, the deposit holders. So we are entering phase 2 now, and I would say Norton is back.
Yeah, and also launching an electric motorbike. I'm just curious about your customer base for that, because I'd have thought people who are really into their motorbikes, do they want an electric one? Isn't part of the thrill, the sound, the smell of the petrol?
Absolutely, and we have to consider this path for the next, I would say, at least 5 to 10 years. But electrification also comes to motorcycle industry.
Yeah, it's 2035, is it, that the ban on new sales?
At the moment for automotive, and 2030 is under discussion. Yeah, so we have to be prepared with our new developments for EV market. But I think that the electrification also brings a lot of opportunity to develop exciting commuters and lifestyle products. Yeah, Norton is a very design-driven company, led by design, and we will create exciting products also for younger customers in the lifestyle segment.
Now, you're creating a lot of jobs in Solihull. You're investing in your plant there. How have you found dealing with increase in component prices, shortages, supply chain disruptions? How has all of that played out for you?
Yeah, we have the same problems like other industries at the moment with availability of semiconductors, with increase in prices of raw materials. We are luckily in the luxury segment, so this segment is not as price sensitive than volume segment. So we can cover some topics and issues here with sales price, but overall it's a stress. It's a stretch, and we have the same problems here like our competitors at the moment.
Good news, though, that, well, not if you were planning on buying an electric car, because the government's announced that it's scrapping grants for people to do that, but it's redeploying it to the motorcycle and e-scooter sector, isn't it? So that's good news for what the markets that you're looking to go into.
Absolutely. EV offers a lot of opportunities, and we will see complete new paths of development, of reusage of components and battery cells in the market, and that's something which would be taken under consideration for future products too.
All righty, and talking about you're relaunching this business effectively.
I was standing on the sidelines, getting ready to relax and celebrate somebody else's win. And then suddenly they were calling the name of my book, and I was just stunned. It's about a boy who loses his father.
All right, well, it's been really good to talk to you this morning. Wish you best of luck with it. Thank you very much. Robert Henschel.
Thank you very much, Samantha.
Now, still to come on Ian King Live as London Tech Week wraps up. I'm going to be speaking to the chief executive of a beauty startup that is using machine learning to match customers to its products.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference, Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon, Queenie, Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far.
is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Hole of darkness. So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019?
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Body, it's your mouth. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it is Starr Radio UK.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
Changing God, you're the same. This is the God of you never change. You're still the same. Yes, yesterday, today, and ever. You're not a man that you should lie.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
Surely an amen forever.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Oh my, oh my. All central. Yes, you never change. Yes, Lord. You're still the same. Yes, yesterday, today, and forever.
Yesterday, today,
you're not a man.
You're not a man
that you should lie. You're surely an amen. Forever and ever. One more time. You never change.
same God.
Still the same.
Yes, yesterday, today, and forever.
Yesterday, today, and never.
You're not a man.
You're not a man
that you should lie.
That you should lie.
Surely an amen. That's your word,
yes,
God.
surely and amen.
Forever and ever. Come on.
Well, God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Has he said it, and will he not do it? Have he spoken, and will he not make it good? A quote from the word of God this morning for you. Just to line up with the song that is being played in the background by Sisi Bedu. Otim Hoda, he is everlasting, he changeth not. On that note, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we welcome you all to the Friday edition of the morning show. But do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. And let me take this opportunity to say good morning to the team for this morning. Mr. Olayomi, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, our money man, and our able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, behind the scenes. Good morning to you, and to Mr. Frank Davis, working behind the scenes as well. Hope you are doing very well. Each and every one of you tuned in this morning to listen to us. And let me say a special good morning to my brother Felix, all the way in Aberdeen. Felix, I hope you are doing very well, sir. And then to the one and only Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama, wherever you are, massive good morning to you, sir. I salute you. I salute you. Long time no here, but I hope you are doing very good. Dr. Morton, good morning. Mr. David Kluche, I salute you all, gentlemen. And our listeners in the Americas, those of you in Europe, Asia, Australia, and on the African continent as well. I salute each and every one of you, especially those of you on the African continent. I know it costs you an arm and a leg to listen to us, but you do it religiously, and for that, I dock my hat for you. Okay, so let me say morning to Olajumoke Ajoke TJ. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
You never change. Yes, Lord.
And also to Adeleke Blessing Mary. Good morning to you. Odunayo Hakim. Terry Omoalade Eku Eto. Good morning to you all, and welcome to the show once again.
Surely an amen. Forever and ever. One more time.
But like I say all the time, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Well, if it is the first time of tuning in on a Friday morning to listen to us, for your sake, let me give you a rundown of how the program is going to be for today. I'll bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. Then from there we'll go global trotting. Look at all the stories making the rounds, the headlines, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, as I say all the time. Just making the headlines, why not? I promise you I'm going to touch on that. Then after that, exactly at 11 o'clock, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi who will be joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria, where there's lots still happening there. As I've been asking the question, will the 2023 election be held? Is it going to come on? Are people going to actually go and vote? With all the insecurity and issues going on, well, that is another story that we'll be looking at during the course of the updates from Nigeria. Then after that, we'll have a look at some of the other stories making the rounds across the globe. From archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. As I say all the time, it's making headlines. Why not? We're going to touch on it. And then we'll move on from there. At 12 o'clock exactly, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. It will be followed until 12:30 when we cross over to Kent, where our money man will be there waiting for us to bring you the money hour as well. Then after that, exactly at 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So as I say all the time, in a gist, that's how the program is going to be for you. So once again, welcome to the show. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. on, or somebody say, let's crack on. Yes, whichever is appropriate. Well, the question today says, success has a human face, so treat people with care in all your interaction. Success has a human face. How do you treat people who come close to you? I did say this yesterday morning when I came on air and during my conversation with Mr. Olayomi on updates from Nigeria. When I spoke to Chief Sunday Igboho, and the humility there. Listen, I've been around, I've met people, all sorts, but when you meet somebody and the person's got humility, you see it. And I told Yomi after that conversation with him, and I said, he's a great man. And I think I told him as well. Okay? So how do you treat people who you come across? Whether it's in their good times or their bad times, how do you see them? How do you treat them? Do you treat them as trash? Well, then change your mind. So coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's crack on straight. Let's move on to what is happening when it comes to the weather front. Oh, you don't want to know what is happening here in London? My goodness. Okay, don't worry. I will bring you the breaking news. But okay, let me quickly just snip that in. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's extradition to US have been approved by the Home Secretary Priti Patel. Okay. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so let's look at the weather. Let's go look at the weather quickly and then we continue from there. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As I said, please share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Okay, so for the weather front, yes, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be a hot one here in London and the southeast of England. This afternoon will be very warm or hot with blue skies and extensive spells of sunshine. Now, some patchy high clouds may edge in from the west later in the day. Gentle to moderate winds expected as well. Now, this evening, we'll have some late sunshine. Tonight, we'll see cloud increase from the north with a few showers or spells of light rain developing near dawn. Now, when it comes to the temperature is going to be 32 degrees, the lower is going to be 18 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high, UV level is going to be high, pollution is going to be moderate. Now, sunset is going to be at 21:20 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 04 for the 3 hours. But when it comes to Saturday, it will turn cooler and unsettled. Areas of cloud will build in and showers will become frequent in places, turning potentially heavy and thundering. Then comes Sunday as well. Sunday we will see sunny spells early on, but it will soon become cloudy with a few showers or spells of rain edging in from the south. So that will be for the Father's Day. But let me take the opportunity to say Happy Father's Day in advance to all the fathers. It is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's take a quick break and I bring you the travel update. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie. Ada Ehi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Well, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll be on the Star Radio travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:54, running behind schedule. It's all because of the heat. Blame it on the heat. All right, then. So on the travel this morning, those of you traveling on the underground, now Elizabeth line has got severe delays. Severe delays between Liverpool Street and Shenfield due to an obstruction on the track in the Romford area. Good service on the rest of the line. But keep your eyes on the roads. All the other underground lines, good service there. As Olayomi said yesterday, get yourself a cold drink, something, because when you're on the underground, you know the heat that comes or that takes place there. Now, when it comes to London Overground, it's partly suspended and severe delays there. No service between Hackney Downs and Enfield Town, Chestnut. Now, severe delays between Liverpool Street and Chingford while they fix overhead wire problems at Hackney Downs. Good service on all other London Overground routes. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. RDL, London Tram Link. Good service there. Now let's move on to some other travel updates there. That's on the major roads in London. On the major roads in London, now A12, A23, A4 Central London Red Route, South Circular A205 have all got closures. So please check before you leave. You don't get yourself stuck in any traffic there. The others have got no exceptional delays. Now moving on straight to the Riverbank this morning, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that's got special service, all the others have got good service. Now to the final segment of the travel update, that's the National Rail. First Trans and Express has got special service. Great Anglia, minor delays. Mercy Rail, special service. Scott Rail, special service. Southern and Thames Link, special service. And Southwestern Railway has got minor delays. So on that note, once again, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 10:57 the time. Let's run. Yes, so if you're standing, hold on to something. If you're sitting, sit very comfortably. Buckle up, get yourself a hot or cold drink because it's going to be bumpy. But I promise you one thing for sure: with Archie in the helm, everything's going to be all right. You're going to be arriving at your destination in peace and not pieces.
This is the morning show with Archie.
All right then. So now let's move on. Let's move on to the stories that is making the rounds. When Yomi joins me after 11, we'll be looking at the Kogi State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps have confirmed the death of 7 people while 5 persons were injured when 2 vehicles were involved in a head-on collision along the Lakoja area. We'll be looking into those stories as well. And then police have failed Nigerians. Akeredolu declares. The Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu on Thursday warned the federal government that its inability to secure life and property in the country will soon leave citizens with no choice but to arm themselves in self-defense. I mean, I was saying the other time that we passed that point long time ago. But what do you think about that? A lot more. Abducted wife of Niger APC chieftain found in Bono Motor Park. At least if she's okay, not hurt or anything, that will be okay. Article picks Efenyi Okowa as vice presidential candidate for 2023. Okay, so we'll be looking more into those stories in a moment. Wherever you are, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now exactly to few seconds to 11 o'clock. Now quickly, let's look at what is happening elsewhere across the globe. A quick one from there, and then we can move on. Now when it comes to Ghana, well, Afram Plains records monkeypox cases. So what is causing all that? Is it that people are eating the monkeys or something? Because they said that that's one of the way it's communicated. I don't know. But Tema motorway fully reopened to traffic. The police announces it's a dual carriage. It's not the motorway, my people. Okay. The majority leader is putting in putting an excuse in for the finance minister because he's been summoned to appear before parliament. The majority leader has rejected claims that the finance minister is running away from accounting for the government's expenditure on COVID-19. Oseiche Mensah Bonsu said no one should peddle such allegations. The Swami lawmakers' defense follows the failure of the finance minister to appear before the House on Thursday, June 16, to answer 16 questions asked about his ministry's activities. Well, he says that it's not running away. So why didn't he appear? Well, we'll be looking more into that. It's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In other parts of Africa as well, Sudan, one dead in new protests against military rule. Well, the protests will go on. The quest or the needs or the wants. Which one should come first? Well, of the Sudanese, it's not going down, so they are still looking for it. And as to whether our politicians are able to actually deliver on those promises, especially looking at the scanty resources that we have or income that we have, and our economy is the way it's been run, and the failures from previous leaders and stuff like that. Do you think we're going to see anything different from what we are seeing now? Well, it is all coming away from Star Radio UK. Lots more going to be coming from there as well. Now, Gatwick cuts summer flights after staff shortages. It's one of the stories making the rounds as well. Assange can be extradited, says UK Home Secretary. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange extradition to US is approved by UK Home Secretary Priti Patel. Who could do that job? I bet you it's her, Priti Patel. Okay, and EU is to announce decision on Ukraine's candidacy. Now, Ukraine's application to join the EU is set to move forward with senior officials preparing an announcement. Well, this and a lot more going to be coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take this song, and we'll be having Mr. Olayomi joining us to bring us updates from Nigeria. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Chief Prosper. Is somebody ready to praise God? Are you guys ready? Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2. Are you ready? There's somebody behind you. Give me space to dance.
This is Star Radio. This is Star Radio. This is Star Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
You are listening to Star Radio.
God I never seen type before. Played in the Ewe dialect. It's an Ewe praise. And I hope that you are enjoying it as well on this sunny day here in London. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I wish I could take my shirt off and then chill out a bit. But whatever it is, I know you can do that for me. So feel free, feel free, feel free. Somebody say give thanks and praise to the Almighty God. But whilst we are enjoying that music, let me put some announcement. True. Inspired Day Nursery Summer BBQ 2022, Saturday the 23rd of July, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 68 Windmill Road. The postcode is CR02XP in Croydon, 68 Windmill Road, Croydon. There's going to be games, bouncy castle, face painting, music, raffle, and great food. Those of us who like great food. Well, tickets in advance, £3 per person. You know what? Babies under one, they are coming in for free. What about that? But there's going to be more on the door, so please bring money and a spirit of giving. All proceeds will go to the Noah's Ark Child's Hospice or Children's Hospice. Okay, Starr Radio UK. Let me take the opportunity to say good morning to Pastor Sandra of the Lady to Lady conference that will be taking place as well in July here in Fairfield, Croydon. Okay, we're waiting for Mr. Olayomi Kwaki to join in, so just continue to enjoy that music. And once we have Mr. Olayomi Kwaki on, we'll be looking at some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria as it's posted there, and a lot more from that front. Stay tuned.
Worldwide, online 24/7.
Only the best music. Move away, hey, move away, hey, move away, hey. I nearly said Kowesi Kakra, but it's okay. Move away, let's move. Hey. I don't know what is in your life that you need to move away tonight. It may be corona, it may be some sadness in your life, it may be something that is pressing you down. Are you ready to let it go? Come on, you want to say, come on. Move away, move away. Come on, let's go. Come on, you can clap your hands with us. Everybody. Hey, what's say yes? What's say yes? What's say yes? I put my way to you.
a praise medley coming your way from all the way in Ghana. Now maybe you're listening to us, you want some of your songs to be sampled here. Feel free to do so, and I promise you I'm going to be playing it for you as well. But you get in touch with administration and they will see to sort all things out for you. Okay, so now let's move on straight. We have Gomis Olayomi Koiki. Just bear with us whilst we try to get him on. We're trying to get you a live feed from outside home. Mapema wadujilo. Okay, let's see whether we can hear Miss Olayomi Koiki. Hello, Yomi. Okay, just bear with us. We're trying to link up with him. It seems he's okay. He's going to be calling us. He's going to be calling us back. So wherever you are, just stay tuned. Just glue to your sets. Don't go away at all. Okay, just bear with us. We'll sort Yomi out. But I hope that you at least you are enjoying the tune that is being played at the moment. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. On a Friday morning here. What is not to love about this program? Okay, we seem to have got Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Now, let's see. Yomi, I think it's gone on a pause again. A pause again. He wants to be out there to enjoy the sunshine. Yes, okay, yeah, we seem to be getting him through. But when it comes to music, entertainment, my goodness. Look no further, Starr Radio UK. We bring you all sorts, don't we? But they are all tailor-measured programs to meet your needs. Oh my goodness, Yomi, I think the line is dropped again. Oh, are we there? Let me see whether Yomi is there. Hello, Yomi. Okay, I think his line is dropped again. It might be my fault. Okay, just bear with us. Yes, I think we've got Mr. Olayomi Koiki now. So let me just cross straight. Because he's out there enjoying the sunshine. And let me say, Yomi, massive good morning to you. I can see you enjoying that sunshine today.
Well, a very good morning back to you in the studio. And yes, you're quite right. It is a very beautiful weather outside today. And we advise a lot of our listeners to make sure that they have so much of a drinking water. Should you be traveling, especially on a very hot day like this on the London Underground. I say good morning. It is 13 minutes past 11 and welcome to Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
How are you today, sir?
Well, we're doing very well. As you can see, I've decided to get a bit of, that energy right underneath. I can feel it and I can tell you, looking at so many people that are out today, they are dressing as warm as possible, and that also indicates that this weekend, we hope that it will be the same, but it's a Friday, and I'm doing very well. I can see my neighbors spread their, their washing clothes outside. That means that, it's not something that you can keep in the house. It's got to get that weather in. And this is part of what a lot of, our mothers, our fathers would love to enjoy back in Africa. But it depends on which part of Africa, because as we know, most African places are safe, but the majority is not a safe location.
Okay, listeners, I apologize. There were bits that we couldn't get through from him, but where he is at the moment, he's outside the house, so there might be slight interference there, but we'll try to make sure we'll let you get everything that we are discussing this morning. Okay, now let's quickly just move on to the stories making the rounds this morning. The Kogi State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed the death of 7 people, while 5 persons were injured when 2 vehicles were involved in a head-on collision. Now in Lokoja. Now my worry is these are occurrences, these are things that happen daily. But because maybe it doesn't happen to maybe a prominent person or something of the sort, we don't think about them. Okay, but these are lives of people who are fending for their families, who are losing their lives. Now the road safety, how good is it in Nigeria? And then talking about the road network itself.
Well, the road safety, and I hope, I know there's a bit of a signal dropping, but we hope it to become more stable. I mean, the road safety are doing their very best with the little resources that they have in their hands. Everything when it comes to, accident, it's all about, the vehicle that is actually driving the road, and also making sure that the road itself is drivable. I mean, I'm looking at the road network from here. I mean, this is a place that there are most of the time these roads are repaired continuously. We know at some particular location, especially where there are schools, which is within each of the local community, there is also a speed limit. But the reason why there is always issues, when it comes to accident in Nigeria is the vehicle that is driving the passenger itself doesn't have, that standard. And that means that, the drivers might also be under alcohol influence. But just as you did mention that there was a road accident in Kogi State, just as, we've heard about that in different parts. Some people have died in that particular road crash. Let me give a bit of background. According to what we know, the Kogi Sector Command of the Federal Road Safety Commission, Stephen, has confirmed the incident to newsmen in Lokoja on Friday today. According to the FRC command, the incident happened yesterday on Thursday when a Toyota IS bus had a head-on collision with a DAP articulated vehicle at Akpanya near Kofan Kappa on Abuja Lokoja Road. I've seen and I've witnessed most time in Nigeria, a lot of people do take.
Okay, listener, just bear with us. We can hear him. So whilst he's still okay, his line is dropped. He's going to call. He's going to call in a moment. Just bear with us. Whilst we get that. We're trying to give you a feel wherever you are of where we are and where we broadcast from, and that's why we from time to time go outside to do so. So let's go back to Yomi, where he is in North London, in outside our North London studios, to bring you the continuation. Yes, Yomi, let's move on.
Yes, a lot of people do take what they call overtaking, and sometimes if you do overtake and you are not seeing what is coming in front of you, that is exactly what has happened. Head-long collision is one of the worst that you can ever think of. The other driver doesn't know that there's a vehicle coming in the front, and there will be less time to apply the brake. We can only pray for those that have died in that particular accident.
A sad one there. But let's look at when it comes to travels in Nigeria as a whole, and then we'll look at Africa. Now, how secured do you think motorists are when they hit the road? You are talking about the fact that the vehicles that are plying the road, some of them are not roadworthy, yet they are allowed to ply the roads. I remember back, I think a couple of years ago or something, from time to time when we share YouTube videos, and there was one truck that was moving, and you could see behind it, it had some of the wheels behind it weren't there, yet the truck was plying the road. So I asked myself the question, what are the authorities doing to help the citizens or motorists know that, or that pedestrians know that, yeah, we are okay, we are secured when we get on board these vehicles?
Well, again, that is the job of the Federal Road Safety. Their job is to make sure that vehicles that are plying the road, are drivable, they are durable, and they have all the necessary, standard, for them to do so. But like I did mention, we've seen all kind of different vehicles, even up to the 40-foot trailer that is missing one back tire at the back of it, and it's still plying the road. We've witnessed accidents in Lagos where containers are falling on top of the citizens, and you ask the question, what more can the government do, or what more can the authority do? The only thing that they can do is to make sure that those that will be plying those roads, are people that are meant to be driving that particular vehicle. But likewise, like I did talk about it as well, when you look at all the road network in Nigeria, is as bad as what it has been in 1960. I remember driving down to a very remote area known as Iwokwe paper mill. That particular area could have been the #1 paper mill in Africa, and from what I'm told, #6 in the world. But you could tell that the texture of the road, even though it has become so damaged from the time that road network was made, you cannot compare it to the one that is being made as we speak today, where almost everybody has become a contractor. But the standard of the road, when there's a rain or when people drive on it, especially the heavy load truck, remember that we do not have the same system as is done around the world, where containers are moved on the rail with heavy logistics. Most of the road, you see all kind of vehicle movement, but yet the road is not as strong as possible. I was watching a video just last week where a fire tanker and the driver, had to drive that same vehicle out of that particular area in less than 2 minutes of that video, so that tanker will probably not explode and create more damage. The vehicle was still on fire while the driver was reversing it back from that particular area. These are the atrocities that Nigerians have to face on a daily basis, because they know when you go out, may Nigeria never happen to you, as we always say.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koike in our North London studios, and I'm Archie here in the main studios in the South. Okay, now let's go to some other story. Now, police have failed Nigerians. Akeredolu declares. I mean, we're talking about road safety and everything, and straight on, everybody said that, well, the police are supposed to help to forestall order, but they are not seeing to that because they are desperate themselves, so they keep on getting bribes or whatever. So what is Akeredolu talking about there?
Well, Akeredolu is the governor of Ondo State. Ondo State is where the terrorists killed over 200 innocent Nigerians almost 2 weeks ago. There are going to be some of them will be having what they call a mass burial today. But rather than blaming his government that he's part of as an APC, is putting the blame on the police, and you kept to ask yourself the question, is it not the same government? Ondo State governor yesterday warned the federal government that it is inability to secure life and property in the country will soon leave citizens with no choice but to harm themselves in self-defense. I want us to take note of that. We've talked about that. Should Nigerians, defend themselves against the terrorists that has now almost become a very, problematic in almost every part of the country as we speak today. Akeredolu is now asking the question: are we going to say no other choice but to harm ourselves in self-defense? Akeredolu will give the warning while delivering a keynote address at the meeting of the Attorney Generals of the 36 states of Nigeria that was held in Lagos State. Police were well overwhelmed. The governor asked the police to close the shop if the federal government could not meet their equipment needs. Akeredolu insisted that they were in their constitutional role of protecting Nigerians. And if the police have failed, the military have literally failed already, because we saw that the military is already compromised, and we know from evidence-based that most of the military have foreigners inside our same military, and they could not protect Nigeria. The question is, who is going to protect Nigerians from the atrocity and the carnage that is taking place in the country as we speak?
Sad one. But Yomi, looking at, I mean, we've discussed this issue before, talking about people arming individuals or citizens arming themselves. I think the other time or sometime this week we were even talking about the fact that some authority in the federal government were saying that henceforth people who pay ransom will be prosecuted and stuff like that, saying that don't pay ransom when your family is abducted or whatever happens there. And then would the federal government come to, seek your release? No. So what do people do? But we in the past we've talked about the Amotekun and then the state police. Now, what is the state of the state police or the Amotekun? Are they still functioning? And what are they doing there?
I hope you can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, when we talk about the Amotekun, you've got to understand that literally the Amotekun are doing their own and they're playing their own part. But the question is, do they have all the necessary equipment to fight back? Some of these terrorists are carrying sophisticated equipment. And the question is, yes, Amotekun and the ones that have been set up in the southeast and the north are trying their best, but they do not have the same firepower just as the terrorists are carrying across the country. And the reason why the terrorists have enough firepower is each time somebody is kidnapped, people are paying heavy ransom to get their loved ones out. Even though the government says that nobody should pay the ransom, but a sitting governor of Ondo State is saying today that the police have failed in their constitutional duty to protect Nigerians. We know the military has already compromised already. The question then is, can Amotekun defend their, the citizen in each of the states? And not every state also have Amotekun. Lagos is an example that is also exposed to so many of influx of people that we do not know or have records of are presently in Lagos. The question then is, would Lagos be able to handle, the carnage should there be an attack in Lagos? Just as we saw 2 weeks ago on Sunday coming will be when massacre went into St. Francis Church in Owo, in Ondo State, where many lives were lost by the terrorist attack on that particular church in Ondo State.
Now, who controls the police? Is it the state or the federal government?
Well, it's always been the issue of whether the state should have the police run on their own. But because the way the Constitution has been set up, the military decree 1999 that has been used and enforced, and this is why a lot of Nigerians, senior advocate of Nigeria, NGOs, average Nigerians are saying that the Constitution is one of the most fraudulent documents that has been, lived on the millions of Nigerians have not been able to support, an average Nigeria. As we know right now, the federal government controls the police, and that means just as we saw when Lagos State governor, at some point there was a crisis in one of the estates, and the police officer would not respond to the governor, did not even be able to tell the governor how many of his officers were on ground. He was telling the governor, why not call your boss up there in Abuja to give you the information, because I'm not going to be able to give you the details. And this is why a lot of Nigerians are asking the question, are we united in the first place? And if all this is going on, who then will be able to protect us? Governor of Ondo State is one of the, the outspoken one, even though he's member of the APC, and maybe that's one of the reasons why his state has been on a lot of attack recently, as we know, because he has given, the order that no X-Men should move around with their car within the state.
Interesting. And do you think Nigerians are arming themselves? That's one question. I don't know. But talking to people, looking at the insecurity, are people trying to get their? And are they using legal means to maybe go to ammunition shop or a gun shop or something, go and do it? And what is the whole process like? Is it easy for people to get it?
Well, as different as it may looks like, Nigeria is not like America, where with your own driver license you can walk in and they probably come out with a very beautiful rifle as long as you're using it for the main purpose. Nigeria is different, but we do know that some people have the basic licensed weapon. But what the government have done recently is also, to advise Nigerians to bring those back in. But the question is, bring them back in, but the government cannot be able to protect each other. I mean, and every Nigerian now is asking the question, who is literally going to defend Nigeria? Remember that even the late Dr. Malafi Obadia said, this year is a very, very important year. And as we continue to monitor the movement, monitor everything that is happening in Nigeria, even the international community are already knowing that there is a danger. Just last week, the Oni of Ife, the Ojaja II says, we already have invaders on our land, but the Yoruba land, as an example, will not be able to conquer, will not be able, is something that they can conquer the land. So that means everybody knows that we have invaders. The question is, how do we flush them out, since the citizens do not have the same firepower and do not have license gun in their hands? The question then remains is, should we continue to pray, or should we continue to demand the government of the day, especially each of the governors, where they are receiving billions of naira when it comes to security vote to protect Nigerians?
Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria. To those of you who have joined us on the Facebook, we salute you. Those of you on YouTube as well, we salute each and every one of you. Odua today. And Grace Babs, good morning to each and every one of you. It is the Friday edition of the morning show with Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. But I want to pose this question. If you are listening to us from Nigeria, will you hand your gun in to the security agencies or to the government that they said, oh, everybody should hand their guns back in? Do you think you would do that? Because if you are going to do that, you ask yourself the question, will the government be there for you when you are being attacked? That is the question. All right, okay, let's go back to Yomi for some of the other stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, now we know who the vice president will be for the PDP camp. Atiku has announced Okowa as his running mate for the vice president and president candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Atiku Abubakar has announced Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State as his running mate in the 2023 presidential election. We're still waiting for the announcement under the APC, but that has already, created fumes, as Wike camps wants PDP as Atiku picks Okowa as running mate. Supporters of the Rivers State Governor Nelson Wike and his appointees on Thursday expressed anger over the decision of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, to pick Delta State Governor Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa as his running mate. I'm going to run through some of the other headlines because of the time constraint this morning. Once again, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I was defrauded of 36 million naira after meeting River Goddess, a woman. I am sure of victory. Won't step down for Atiku or Tinubu Kwankwaso. We talked about Kwankwaso. He's a very powerful person as well in the north. From the interview he gave, he said, how do you intend to defeat the APC and the PDP considering their nationwide spread? Kwankwaso movement is very popular and we even win in the northeast region. I am happy that the electoral bill was signed into law and that will make it difficult for anyone to rig us as they have always done. So it looks like, it has always been a rigged one, but he believes that that is not going to happen this time around. Federal government plans 17 airport concessions to unbundle aviation regulation. That is coming up as well in that headline. NYSC PDP chieftaincy drags party Odua and INEC to court. Oduala, to the court. That is also coming from the headline. I'm going to give one or two more, then come back again to you straight from the social media at exactly 11:32. Let's look at some more of the headline. Federal government inaugurates a committee to recover 29 billion naira debt from Abuja property owners. That is coming as well. My regime has degraded bandits and IPOB militants. That is, President Muhammadu Buhari saying that. Let's take a look at that. I must specially commend the Nigerian police force that could not protect Nigerians, according to the governor of Ondo State, and the sister agency for the giant stride recorded so far in the fight against the prevailing security challenges. President Muhammadu Buhari claimed he has degraded the potence of bandits, IPOB, militants despite wanting killings and kidnapping continue across Nigeria. According to Mr. Buhari, Boko Haram, the indigenous people of Biafra, Eastern Security Network, and bandits that pose a potent threat to the country have significantly been degraded. I'm not sure whether Nigerians will agree with that. Let's go on and say, I must specifically commend the effort and the resilience of the members of the Nigerian police, the same one that the Ondo State governor has already criticized in that beginning of our update this morning. Buhari, during the passing out parade of the regular course for 2016 cadet of the Nigerian Police Academy in Kano also in the northern part of the country, according to the statement by his media aide, Garba Shehu. The president further said, across the north central, the northwest of the country, we have made progress with regard to stemming the tide of communal violence, farmer-herdsmen clashes, cattle rustling, and kidnapping. But as of yesterday, more Nigerians are still being kidnapped across every part of Nigeria. I'm going to take one more and then come back straight into the social media, and then we go as well. INEC won't manipulate Ekiti governorship election result. That is coming from Yakubu Mahmoud, the INEC chairman. The choice of who becomes the next governor of the state is entirely in the hands of the voters. The Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, says its staff will not engage in electoral fraud during the June 18 Ekiti governorship election, according to the governor, the INEC chairman. Let me take you straight to the social media at exactly 11:35. Quite a lot. 17th of June is trending. I'm not sure why, but that seems to be penning down to the ASU strike. As we know, a lot of university students are still as we speak today sitting down at home and doing nothing. Okowa is trending at number 4. I'm sure you know why, because he's been picked as the vice president under Atiku. We're still waiting to see what the APC is going to come up to. But let's take a look at what other is trending, from the other side of the globe. Once again, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a look quickly. Nigerians are continue to, some of us still having a strong support, for Peter Obi. The reason why I am supporting Peter Obi is for the fact that he has a good plan for Nigerians. He don't segregate. He treated Nigerians equally, regardless of religion or ethnicity. That is coming as well. Also, according to Yoruba Nation, stop looking for 4 or 8 years of Messiah that will land you back at the start of the cycle. Start looking for structural change that will accumulate the independence of the nation state. Yoruba Nation is all we want. Nigerians, please wake up and unite for Peter Obi. This is coming from Owo Ayodeji. Also, Henry Shield, Peter Obi in Egypt is more useful to Nigerians than Buhari in Asoro. Get out, please. And also, we take one more from, and then I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. Like I said, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Again this morning, Yoruba Nation is not going back. This is coming from the Yoruba Nation now on Twitter, and again advising a lot of Yoruba people to become more vigilant of what is happening around us as well. Also, from the last one, people are still talking about the June 12th, which is almost going to be a week this weekend, where the mega rally took place. But again, tomorrow, there will be a peaceful mega rally of the Yoruba Nation in Canada. I'm going to come back again to you in the studio at 11:37 before we start winding down.
Yes, listeners, Star Radio UK. Thank you to each and every one of you who have joined us on the broadcast. Keep your comments coming through, and I promise I'm going to read that as well, whether it's on YouTube or the Facebook or on any other social media platform that we are broadcasting on. But as Yomi will tell you, the best way to listen to us is through our apps, whether it's Android or iOS. Just go to your app store and just look for Star Radio UK. My apologies, Star Radio Global, and it will pop up and you download it. It is for free. Anthony, good morning to you. Now, Yomi, let's quickly look at this running mate for Atiku, that is Okowa. Now, what has been the reaction of people from the southeast? Is it something that they think, whoa, okay, this time at least we didn't get a presidency per se, but if you are getting the running mate, then there could be changing of the tides for us. What have been their reaction?
Well, I think the PDP has been able to to try to see whether they can balance it, and that's why they've pushed it to the southeast rather than the north, as we look from the the APC. We believe that the APC will be picking somebody from the northern part of the country as against somebody from the southeast. But the question again is, is all the southeast, the Ohio as an example, the social cultural group, or the Biafrans, are they going to be pleased, with this outcome of a vice president now coming from their region as against a president? Though a lot of people are still clamoring for Peter Obi under the Labour Party, that they believe that his chances is much more better than a vice president of under the PDP. So we have to wait and see.
Okay. We'll wait and see. But before we run up, when we talk about Sowore and all the others who were in the previous election were making lots of headway. Now we've not heard much about them. What are they doing? Are they still interested? Have they thrown their hats into the ring as well?
Well, Omoyele Sowore, won the presidential ticket a week ago. Like I said, arrangement is being put together so that we can have him on Naija Voices to come and speak to us, or probably maybe during one of our segments, this morning. I'll try and tidy that up this weekend so that we can know his availability. He was with us in the studio, some few years back, and it will be nice to hear from him, why and what he thinks his potentials or his chances of winning this time around as against the last time, maybe what has done or what more needs to be done. So Omoyele Sowore is still in the race, and he's still very, very active also on the social media. And I believe the last post I read from him, if I can pick that up, it was talking about how the student needs to really push together so that they can get the reason why they are sitting down at home. So he's doing a lot of interview as well in Nigeria with different media. But like I said, the last post I read from him, which was just yesterday, for 123 days now, Nigerian university teachers have been on strike. Also, Nigerian students in College of Education have been thrown into the street. Their teachers too are on strike. The Buhari is enjoying the prolonged strike. Students are suffering. Parents are agonizing. There are over 1.5 million students whose future is at stake, and no one seems to care. I lived through an era when the government was afraid of the Nigerian student, but today, students are afraid of the government. They are scared to exercise their right to have a future. I urge Nigerian students to bond together and force this despicable regime to #end ASU strike now. It is a task that must be done. We can't continue like this. So it's actually comparing during his own days how they had to shut down the government as a student. But it looks like the generation of the student we have now will rather sit on the Twitter and do their best. But some will say you can't blame them. The government literally took in the military and killed a lot of them, denied the killing during the October 2020 NSAS. And most of them now have just sat on their Twitter handle and used that as #end ASU strike.
Yeah, I think they are using modern technology to fight the war now. So because you go on the streets and you have the soldiers coming to shoot sporadically, maybe you end up losing your life. But well, you have to stand for something. What do you think? Well, it is Starr Radio UK 11:42. Let's go back to Yomi so that you can run up. Yomi.
Well, we'll be back again. Hopefully, Monday by God's grace. But we look forward to see what is going to happen over the weekend. And again, we continue to advise a lot of Nigerians back home to remain very, very vigilant, especially with faces that are not known within your community and within your area. And on that note, I'll be back on Monday morning at exactly 11 o'clock. Let us stay tuned to Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I say, have a very good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what part of the globe you're watching us from.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, for that wonderful update. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm going to bring you a music. One that I'm falling in love with is one of Nigeria's patriotic songs. And enjoy it. And once that is over, we'll continue with the program for this morning. But wherever you are, just stay glued to your sets. Don't touch the dial. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones, and invite them to like our pages as well.
Woke up to an eerie morning, no children playing. No sounds of greetings, one neighbor to another. Oh, it's quiet and gloomy. Please don't live here no more. No more.
Can't believe how much we've hurt each other. Can't believe the damage we've done.
Brothers hurting brothers, neighbor harming neighbors.
Children grieving for their parents, hacked down before their time.
I can't go out. I don't know who to trust. Fear is just the other of the day.
Is this the way we want to live? With peace we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. With peace we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. Oh, I know you were hurt. The blow you've been down, so yeah.
Cuts deep like a knife, but we mustn't pay back in kind.
Leave no room in your heart for vengeance and hatred, no, no. An eye for an eye, so leaves everyone blind.
Hey, we have our differences, we cannot change things, making war.
Without peace, all dreams are hard. Well, yeah.
Without peace, there's no room to build. So much work to be done
To make Nigeria the country of our dreams.
With peace, when peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace, we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. With peace, we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out.
Well, welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:47 from the heart of London. I'm Archie. Well, that was updates from Nigeria. It comes your way every weekday from 11 o'clock with Miss Olayomi Koiki. Well, it is the Friday edition of the morning show. So at this juncture, we're going to be crossing on to look at some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of Africa as well. Now we look at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK and other parts of the world, of course. And as I said, 12:30, my apologies. We will bring in the first part of the program to close because we're going to Kent, where our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, is for the money hour. So continue to keep your dial. So Lockdown Star Radio UK, and let me say good morning to Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri and the girls. And hello to you wherever you are, depending on what time it is. That's why I don't want to say morning, afternoon, evening, dawn, or whatever. But hello, that cuts across, right? Okay, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a quick break, and then I bring you the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference, Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Ministers CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie. Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Okay, my apologies. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 10 minutes to 12 the time, the morning show, the program. I am Archie, and we look at other stories making the rounds in other parts of Africa as well. Now, he calls the Bible and lies. Agbodza takes on Oforiatta over payment of toll booth workers. When it comes to Ghana politics, my goodness, it's quite an interesting one there. And a few other stories that I'll try to touch on a couple of stories, and then we move on from there. But let me start from the previous quote that I put across. Now, government has fulfilled its promise of paying former toll booth workers, and that's what the MP is saying. Now, Oforiatta knows he can't fulfill promise to get jobs for former toll booth workers. Agbodza says that toll booth workers threaten to demonstrate over non-payment of salaries. The member of parliament for Adaklo, Kwame Governs Agbodza, has accused Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta of being deceitful, though he uses quotes from the Bible to buttress most of his presentation. Now, speaking in an interview, the MP accused the finance minister of abandoning former toll booth workers after promising to pay them after the closure of the toll booth. The finance minister wears a white shirt, makes every statement in parliament starting with a Bible quotation, and lies about it. Today, he told us none of those people who lost their jobs, the truth is that he is not paying them, and the people are home. They are jobless, he said. Okay, so then in reaction to some other statement or a summoning of the finance minister to the House of Parliament, this is what has also gone on there. The majority leader has rejected claims the finance minister is running away from accounting for the government's expenditure on COVID-19. Now, Oseiche Mensah Bonsu said no one should peddle such allegation. The Swami lawmakers' defense follows the failure of the finance minister to appear before the House on Thursday, June 16, to answer 16 questions about his ministry's activities. Now, but reacting to some concerns from the minority, the leader of the government business insisted that the minister will appear before the House on Wednesday, June 22. Now, the minister is running away from accountability, so let nobody rush to that conclusion. He's not running away from accountability. What he has communicated to us, and indeed, he only asked for additional time. Meanwhile, Speaker of Parliament Alban Gbagben has ruled that the House will not consider any request from the Finance Minister until Ken Oforiatta appears before the House to account for COVID-19 expenditure and answer other questions from MPs. Mr. Alban Gbagben, speaking on the floor of the House on Thursday, said the Minister must appear before the House or suffer rejection of requests from the Finance Ministry. Okay, so checks and balances there. I will go further to say that until the answer is provided, until he goes through the accountability process, he will not take, or we will not take that motion today. He has another request before us that will also be affected. Until he comes to respond to the questions and to submit the statement giving an explanation as to how the money has been applied, we will not entertain any business from the ministry. Mark my words, says Alban Gbagben. Now, the minority MPs were incensed over the development as they have accused Mr. Oforiatta of disrespecting the House. Now, ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Akando, said the failure of Mr. Oforiatta to appear before the House on Thursday to account for the government's COVID-19 expenditure is evident that he is not fit for the position he occupies. That has been in his nature. I am not surprised. There are a lot of outstanding questions for the minister responsible for finance, and sometimes at the last minute he won't show up. But does it send any excuse in or seek any permission? Now, in any jurisdiction, this man would have been fired long ago by the president. He's not being fired by the president because he's keeping the parochial interests of the president, alleged the minority. All right then, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to what? 5 minutes past the top of the hour. It is the Friday edition of the morning show. I am Archie. Stay tuned and don't think of going away. Frank says it drone strikes kill dozens of extremists in Niger. That's one of the stories. And then Tunisia grinds to a halt as unions challenge the president. We're going to be looking into those stories. And then, as I announced earlier on, Sudan, one dead in new protests against the rule. So let's bring that one first and then move on to some of the couple of the other stories. A demonstrator was killed on Thursday in a crackdown on ongoing protests in Sudan nearly 8 months after the military coup appended the transition to civilian rule, doctor has said. Now, the pro-democracy doctors union said the protester, yet to be identified, was shot dead by security forces in Omdurman, a western suburb of Khartoum. Now, this death brings to 102 number of deaths in the repression of demonstration against the military power in place since the coup d'etat led on October 25th by the head of the army, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, according to this source. Now, since then, hundreds more protesters have been injured and many arrested. The putsch abruptly ended a fragile civilian-military power sharing deal reached after the military removed 3 decades dictator Omar al-Bashir from power in 2019. The second round of UN brokered talks to resolve Sudan's political crisis has been postponed indefinitely after a major civilian bloc defected, a UN spokesman said last Saturday. All right then. So those are some of the stories making the rounds this morning in part of the African continent. But still, moving on to some more from there as well. Now, Tunisia is actually, some would say, in a great, okay. Now, flights were cancelled, public transport ground to a halt, and government offices were closed in a nationwide strike by Tunisian main trade union confederation last Thursday, and that was yesterday, which piled pressure on President already facing a string of crises. The powerful UJTT confederation had called on up to 3 million public sector workers to strike, halting work at 159 state agencies and public companies to demand concessions on salaries and threatened reforms. The action appeared to be widely observed. A strike by public sector workers at Tunis airport saw dozens of flights cancelled, while public utilities and post offices were also closed. Around 1,000 strike supporters gathered outside the UGTT headquarters in central Tunis, now singing the national anthem and waving flags. In a fiery speech, the UGTT chief Noureddin Tabiri said the action had been over 96% successful and blamed the government for the collapse of salary negotiations. He goes on in the quote, "This is a stubborn government which sows discord and spreads false information," Tabiri told demonstrators. "We won't stop campaigning no matter the cost until our demands are met." The strike comes as Tunisia prepares to enter formal talks with the International Monetary Fund on a new bailout plan for its debt-laden economy. Now, my question here, or my thought here is that, now, looking at everything that seems to be going on there, do you think the government has got the funds to actually see to pay these workers to increase their wages the way they are looking for it? You know, at times, in reality, what government might be saying is true. They might not have have that finance or that amount of money there. But what do we see? It's quite a sad one that happens there. Olalikan Olawasin Paul. Yes, good afternoon to you. I hope you are doing very, very well. Okay, and Eve Afiefa, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you very, very much for joining us on the stream this morning. And now it's afternoon time. Grace Baba says, I'm not in Nigeria, but if I was in Nigeria, I wouldn't hand in my gun. No, never, because the government is highly irresponsible. And it says, Grace, I say thank you, Mr. Archie and Mr. Koike. Thank you very much, Grace, for that comment there as well. Thank you. All right, then. It is gone 12 o'clock. We're going to take a quick break. We come back and we continue with the show. We're looking at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Okay? It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yes, and the lines will be open as well. 0208 133 2257 or 58 0208 133 2257 57 or 58, or if you are in the US or Canada, it's 00171830323737. 00171830323737. You can text or WhatsApp us as well. It is 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is a Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Hold on and let's take a quick commercial break and we come back. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, 3 minutes past 12 the time. As I said, exactly at 12:20, the first part of the program will be brought to a close, and then we can cross over to Kent, where money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, is, and we're bringing you the money hour. In these difficult times, well, what advice do you need the more? One of them should be on your finance. So anything that will help you get your finance sorted, why not? Bring it on. All right then. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world as well. All right then. So now in other parts of the world, okay, I was supposed to have brought you 3 stories from Africa. Okay, yes, the final one. Let me bring that your way. Bring that your way. Pertaining to the statement that the French have made. Now, French drone strikes killed nearly 40 Islamic extremists earlier this week who were traveling on motorcycles near Niger's border with Burkina Faso, France military announced on Thursday. In a statement, the French military called the strikes a new tactical success for France's counter-terrorism efforts in Africa Sahel region named Operation Bakani. Now, intelligence obtained from Nigerian units in contact with the column confirmed that the motorcycles belong to an armed terrorist group moving between Burkina Faso and Niger. Now, Bakani said in the statement, in a close coordination with Niger's armed forces, the Bakani force conducted several strikes against the column. Nearly 40 terrorists were neutralized. Now, Niger's government also issued a statement saying the jihadists were killed after an attack earlier this week killed 8 security forces in southwestern Niger. After being kicked out of Mali in the presence of the military government in Burkina Faso, Niger has become France's more reliable ally in the Sahel. Now, France has said that it planned to reposition its forces from Mali to other countries in the Sahel region, including Niger. Extremist violence is growing in the Sahel, including Niger's southwest neighbor, Burkina Faso, which is battling growing jihadi attacks. Well, so which of the countries in the Sahel region are ready to accept the French? Well, if they are fighting for them, I'm using drones to do the job now. Now, somebody say, why not? Why not? Why not? Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in other parts of the world, Ukraine seems to be moving towards joining the EU. Okay. The European Commission has recommended Ukraine be granted candidate status for EU membership. The same status has been given to Moldova, but not Georgia, another ex-Soviet republic. Now, there's one condition in return, says the European Commission. Ukraine must carry out certain reforms and respect international law. In her address, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, who wore the blue and yellow colors of Ukraine, said Ukrainians were ready to die for the European dream. She added that Ukraine had the right to determine its own future. The EU 27 member states have to give the green light to grant Ukraine candidate status, with leaders set to discuss it at a summit next week. Now, what is going to be the reaction from the Russians? What is going to be their reaction? Okay, because you're having Moldova, you're having Ukraine. Is there going to be any other attack? Well, they will tell you that EU is different from NATO. So is that what is going to happen? Now, Ukraine's bid to join the European Union has been given a major boost with a recommendation that it granted candidate status. But the European Commission says the country must make reforms. As I did say earlier on, Ukrainians have shown they are ready to die for the European aspiration. Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen has said. Ukraine says Russia is concentrating its force for an assault on the eastern city of Sloviansk, while fighting is continuing for control of Severodonetsk. Okay, President Putin is due to give a speech at an economic forum in St. Petersburg later, with Russia under heavy economic sanctions from the West. We'll be following very closely as and when we have any updates from there. I promise that we're going to bring that your way. Now, Ukraine has now lost up to half of its military hardware. The country's deputy defense minister has said. Then Sharapov called for more military aid as fierce fighting in the east of Ukraine continues, with heavy losses reported on both sides. Now, on the ground, Ukraine says Russia is concentrating its forces for an assault in the eastern city of Sloviansk. Fighting is still continuing, as I did say, in the other eastern Donetsk area. All right, then. It is Starr Radio UK. 9 minutes past the top of the hour at the time. The morning show. Well, we've been talking about guns when it comes to the U.S., but the Republican Senate gun negotiator has walked out of the talks. The lead Republican negotiator for what will be the U.S. Senate first gun control bill in a generation has walked out of talks with Democrats. Now, Texas Senator John Cornyn has played a key role in drafting the framework of a proposed firearms bill following mass shooting in Texas and New York. Now, living in Washington, he said, "I am through talking." Now, the plans include tougher checks for buyers under the age of 21 and cracking down on illegal gun purchases. The proposal has shown some rare cross-party cooperation in the issue of gun control, but still falls short of what many Democrats and activists have been calling for. But at least someone would say it is a starting point. Now, recent attempts to tighten gun laws in the U.S., which has the highest rate of firearms death among the world's wealthy nations, have failed to get the required support in Congress. Now, the flurry of actions comes after 19 young children and 2 adults were killed at a school in Uvalde, Texas, less than 2 weeks after a racially motivated shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York, left 10 dead as well. But Mr. Cornyn walkout has placed a question mark over the legislation's future. Now, Axios, a political outlet, reported earlier on Thursday that conservative colleagues, of the Texas Senator are frustrated at his handling of the talks and want time to consider the text of any proposal before it is introduced to the chamber floor. The legislative window to pass a new law is narrowing as November's midterm election looms, but the lead Democratic negotiator said he was still hopeful the bill could go to vote next week. Wouldn't it? And well, I've been saying, those who are vehemently opposing this, I pray, I don't like that, I don't wish that on them, but if somebody very close to them it faces anything of the sort, I think, or themselves, I think they will sit up and smell the coffee. Wow. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, moving on straight to some other stories making the round in other parts of the world. Azteca Stadium to host World Cup 2026 game. The tournament in the US, Mexico and Canada will be the first held in the 3 different countries. Well, so that is one information for you at those who enjoy football. Okay then, now quickly moving on to other parts of the world as well. Interesting. Okay, I think that we'll touch on that later on. But in France, there were times during the election where 5 years ago, when President Emmanuel Macron would sound almost messianic about the potential of his political party and his project for France. This time around, with runoff votes for more than 570 parliamentary seats due on Sunday, his comments have the feel of doomsday warning. Nothing will be worse than losing ourselves in blockages and adding disorder in France to global disorder, Mr. Macron said this week. Now, last Sunday, a new Green Left alliance finished neck and neck with Mr. Macron's allies in the first round of voting. If they continue to do well this weekend, they could deny the president a majority in parliament, making it harder for his government to act. In a quote, he says, "For most of my life, I've been voting for the lesser of two evils," the 31-year-old Romain told me at a rally in Toulouse. "Now, finally, for the first time in my life, we have a big alliance on the left, and it is exciting. Will that actually throw the spanner in the web of Macron and stall the development, the progress that France seems to be seeing at the moment, though the whole world is going through some challenging times economically? What do you think? It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, 3 Palestinian militants have been shot dead in a car. Israel says they opened fire on troops during an Israeli operation in the West Bank. Okay, what was the cause of that? I'll try to see whether I can capture that and bring that your way. The Israeli military said its forces returned fire to neutralize occupants of a car who had shot at them. The incident in Jenin is the most serious of its kind for weeks, as Israel carries out near daily raids following a wave of deadly attacks. Now, 2 Palestinians who committed recent killings came from the Jenin area. Now, 17 Israelis and 2 Ukrainians have been killed in shootings, stabbings, car ramming, and axe attack in Israel and the West Bank since late March. Now, dozens of Palestinians, including the attackers, have been killed in confrontation with Israeli forces then. Well, that brings us to the end of those stories coming your way from the Middle East as well. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In Asia, North Korea says it's dealing with an outbreak of unidentified intestinal sickness, adding to the strain caused by the spread of COVID-19. The country's leader, Kim Jong-un, has ordered quarantine measures be implemented, the official KCNA news agency has reported. Now, it said he sent medicine to Haeju City on Wednesday to help patients suffering from the acute enteric epidemic. Now, health experts suspect the illness could be typhoid or cholera. Now, North Korea declared a state of emergency in May after it said millions of people were experiencing fever believed to be untested COVID-19 cases. It has not reported the number of people affected by the latest sickness outbreak or elaborated on what the disease is, but enteric refers to the gastrointestinal tract. Now, Kim stressed the need to contain the epidemic at the earliest date possible by taking a well-knit measure to quarantine the suspected cases to thoroughly curb its spread, confirming cases through epidemiological examination and scientific tests, the KCNA has said. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One final one from Asia. Okay, a quick one from there. The police brutality video that shocked India, relative of Muslim men filmed being beaten up in Uttar Pradesh, has come out, and the backlash from that as well, and how India could become a mushroom superpower, and 8 million Australians had to turn off lights. I brought that your way yesterday. But Nepal to move Everest base camp from melting glacier. Hi. Okay. Are we getting to the end of the world? What can we cut? Yeah, environmental pollution. Is that what is causing that? Okay, Nepal is preparing to move its Everest base camp because global warming and human activity are making it unsafe. The camp used to be used by up to 1,500 people in the spring climbing season. Is situated on the rapidly thinning Kumba glaciers. A new site is to be found at a lower altitude where there is no year-round ice. Now, researchers say melt water destabilizes the glaciers, and climbers say crevasses are increasingly appearing at base camps while they sleep. Now, we are now preparing for their relocation, and we will soon begin consultation with all stakeholders. Taranath Adhikari, Director General of Nepal's Tourism Department, has said. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in the UK, now when we came on air, just on air, then this news broke and I brought it your way. But let me bring you details of it. Now, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's extradition to the US has been approved by UK Home Secretary Priti Patel. Now, Mr. Assange has 14 days to appeal the decision, the Home Office has said. It said the court found that extradition will not be incompatible with his human rights, and that while in the US, he will be treated appropriately. Now, Mr. Assange is wanted by the American authorities over documents leaked in 2010 and 2011. He has been in prison since he was removed from the Ecuadorian embassy in London in 2019 and arrested by British police after Ecuador withdrew his asylum status. Now, the Australian is being held at Belmarsh prison in London after mounting a lengthy battle to avoid being extradited. Now, responding to the Home Secretary's order, WikiLeaks confirmed that it would appeal her decision. Mr. Assange's wife, Stella, said her husband had done nothing wrong and he has committed no crime. He is a journalist and a publisher. He's been publishing my apologies. He is being punished for doing his job. Okay. I don't know why I was going to publish. Yeah. In May 2019, while serving a jail sentence in the UK for breaching bail, the US Justice Department filed 17 charges against Mr. Assange for violating the Espionage Act, alleging that material obtained by WikiLeaks endangered lives. Mr. Assange's legal team claimed that the classified documents published by WikiLeaks, which related to the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, exposed U.S. wrongdoings and were in the public interest. The WikiLeaks document revealed how the U.S. military had killed hundreds of civilians in an unreported incident during the war in Afghanistan, while leaked Iraq war files showed 66,000 civilians had been killed and prisoners tortured by Iraqi forces. The Supreme Court ruled in March that Mr. Assange's case raised no legal question over assurances that US had given the UK about how he's likely to be treated. Amnesty International said enabling the extradition to take place will put him at risk and sends a chilling message to journalists. And when you listen to such stories, you ask yourself the question, do I shout or do I shush? We talk about Belarus, where because of a criticism from a journalist and when the person was flying, the Belarusians just said that, well, there's a bomb on that plane, caused it to land, immediate emergency landing, and then they took the man off. So, how protected are those of us in this field when you go on saying things that somebody say, hey, you don't have to say this, but if we don't say it, who says that for you? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, people cut back on food and fuel as prices rise. Now, yesterday, the interest rate also went up. It's now 1.25 or 1. Yes. Okay. Now, people struggling with soaring costs of living are cutting back on food and car journeys to save money, according to a survey. Now, more than half, that's 56%, the 4,011 people asked had bought fewer groceries, and the same proportion has skipped meals. The findings reveal the widespread impact of prices rising at their fastest rate for 40 years. Now, many people have cut spending on clothes and socializing. Some say their mental health has been affected. Now, 2/3 of those surveyed also suggested government support provided so far was insufficient. The cost of domestic energy, petrol, and food have all increased significantly in recent months, and the findings suggest more than 8 in 10 people are worried about the rising cost of living. And it's a tough one, but as I've said, we'll be having Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining us, and he'll be telling you more of what to do at this time. Maybe there are some avenues that you can be making some money that you've not looked at. Well, it's going to be telling you more about one of those. Okay, now UK could host Eurovision 2023. Organizers have said officials are in talks after with the BBC after concluding contest cannot be held in winning country Ukraine. So it might come to the UK, who were the runner-ups. Okay, now Gatwick cuts summer flights after staff shortage. That will be the last story before we take a break, and I bring you the money man. Now Gatwick Express, Gatwick Airport is reducing the number of flights during the peak summer period because of staff shortages. Now the number of daily flights will be cut to 825 in July and 850 in August, down from 900 in previous years. It comes after the government and regulators wrote to airlines telling them to ensure their summer timetable were deliverable. Now, tens of thousands of passengers have been hit by cancellations and delays at UK airports in recent weeks. Now, Gatwick said it had taken the decision to reduce flights following a review of its operation to help passengers now experience a more reliable and better standard of service. The airport said it had recruited 400 new staff to help passengers pass through security checks this summer, and more new recruits will start soon. But the airport review found many companies based at the airport still had a severe lack of staff, and if the issue was not addressed, passengers could experience queues, delays, and cancellation. Now, Stewart Wingate, the airport's chief executive, said that during the week of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations, a number of companies operating at the airport struggled because of staff shortages. By taking decisive action now, we aim to help the ground handlers and also our airlines to better match their flying programs with their available resources. He said it's not clear when or even if airlines will cancel their flights following Gatwick's announcement. Mr. Wingate said the vast majority of flights over the summer will operate as normal. EasyJet said it was aware of the capacity cap announced by Gatwick Express and was reviewing the details. It said we expect to be able to reaccommodate the majority of customers should their flight be affected by the cap. We recognize the need for Gatwick Airport to do this so all airlines can provide reliable services for their customers. Travel expert Simon Calder said whole industry is stretched, especially ground handlers and the airlines. This is all about avoiding the scenes of chaos at airport and actually making sure that 95% of people are traveling, he said. So are you embarking on a journey during this summer? Well, that's a word of warning for you there. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We're going to take a commercial break. We come back and then I'll be bringing you the Money Man. So stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's 12:30, and therefore I take you straight to Kent, where our man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, is. Let me say a massive good afternoon to you, sir.
Coming your way again this Friday afternoon.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great, by God's grace.
Thank God for that. Okay. Now, it's an interesting topic that you picked today that you want to address, because you said those are some of the questions that people have been putting to you. Yes. So Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. So this is something that, should I say, we have been afflicted with for quite a long time. You know, the Ponzi schemes and the pyramid schemes have been around, since business and money, as forms, using currency and all that as forms of mediums of exchange. They've been around us for a long time, and they go and come back to us in various disguised ways and forms, but essentially they have the same characteristics, and a lot of people have fallen victims to some of these schemes, and so I've had questions come to me regarding Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes, and I thought we might take the opportunity to educate listeners on what these schemes are, and to be able to watch out for them and to know exactly what they are investing into.
Well, listeners, that's Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. For all your accounting issues, money issues, he is the man to see. Okay, so now let's address it. What makes a scheme a Ponzi one?
Well, Ponzi schemes are usually are based on fraudulent investment management services. So you have a situation where investors contribute money to a portfolio manager who promises them a high return. And then when those investors want their money back paid out, it becomes an issue, because what happens is that the investor really, there's no real investment activity going on in the scheme. What they do is that they collect your money and pay you a high return. So the more people he's able to get into the scheme, then he's able to continue paying those high returns up until a point where he's got enough money or enough in his portfolio that he thinks that he cannot afford, or he can do away with the scheme. Then what mostly happens is that before you know, the person, as happened in the Piram, as you mentioned, the person just goes with the money and the company closes down, and all the scheme and the investments come crashing down, and people lose their money. So that's what the Ponzi scheme is based on. Essentially, there is no what we call no real investment at all. A case at the moment, there's a question to be asked whether recent case in Ghana, which we are all familiar with, which we refer to as NAM1.
NAM1, yeah.
For example, would you call that a Ponzi scheme or a real investment? As far as we are aware, people were made to believe that there were real investments taking place in the form of gold.
Yeah.
I do not have the details to be able to certify whether that is true or not. But the high returns that were paid, characteristically, shows that this might be possibly a Ponzi scheme and one that is not real. The attraction there is the high interest and the high returns that is being paid out. And what people find out is that so long as you keep paying, so long as they keep paying the return and the interest, people are attracted, and you find that people getting these returns are so want more so much that what they have even received they put back into the scheme. And so they eventually, when the person takes their money and runs away with it, everything is gone. So that's the situation we find ourselves in at the moment. The most famous Ponzi scheme in recent history had to do with a gentleman called Bernard Madoff. He took away about 5,000 clients' money into his accounts and spent it lavishly and blew all the money. I think Bernard Madoff died in prison. He was sentenced to life. He died in prison, I think, about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
So that was a big Ponzi, a big scheme. And ever since, we've had several of these other people have modeled this and tried to repackage it and present it, but the simple or the common thread in all these schemes is a high interest being paid, which in most cases is unrealistic because you will not invest in there's no other avenue that you can invest that can give you that high investment return.
Interesting. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, the Money Hour with Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. For all your accounting issues, you have to get in touch with him and he will help you on that front. Today we are looking at Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, and all those schemes that are there. So follow us. If you have any questions, please feel free. You can call in and add your voice to the discussion, ask your question, or text or WhatsApp us, and I promise you I will be putting your question across to him. Mr. Tabiri, now, so what is the difference between the Ponzi scheme and the pyramid scheme?
So the pyramid scheme, Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes, both of them have similar characteristics around them. One, individuals get attracted by investors who promise them extraordinary returns. In contrast to regular investment, these types of schemes can offer consistent profit, and only as long as the number of investors continue to increase. Things start to wear off once the number, the rate at which people are joining the scheme start to drop off. Then that is where the investor or whoever is the promoter now start to think about the exit strategy, how to get out of the scheme, because then it shows that the scheme is about to collapse. Ponzi schemes are outright fraud. Ponzi schemes are illegal in many jurisdictions around the world. So Ponzi schemes are illegal, and if they are all underground, they are in unregulated markets, and so you have to be very careful. The key thing here is that if the offer on the table is too good to be true, then you have to be careful, because people are lured or induced by the high interest payments that are being made. A pyramid scheme in itself sometimes can come in the form of what they call a multi-level marketing business. business model, where members sometimes are asked to pay a fee to invest in a business, and then they are in turn promised, various amounts of payments for recruiting other people to likewise invest in and join the business. Sometimes these pyramid schemes, involve the sale of products, and occasionally you might find that there are some reputable products on the market that are attached to the scheme. Just to give it legitimacy, or to give it, a covering away from the pyramid scheme. But essentially, if you look at what these schemes are, they all promise very high returns. They all promise very constant profit. And these are high risk investments, and yet it's presented as if there are no risks attached at all, and you'd only reap profit. There's no legitimate business which would give you high profits without any risk. So if you are entering into any of these, you have to know that there are dangerous risks that you might end up losing all of your investment. And one thing I would like to say also is that about the pyramid scheme is that it depends on when you join in the pyramid. So if you join the pyramid at the top, you might enjoy the benefits of the pyramid for longer, because people who join later on under your network, you would be able to benefit or enjoy the proceeds from their investment. But if you join the scheme at a much lower level of the pyramid, then you are much closer to the point where the pyramid is going to collapse, and that is where the danger lies. So definitely, personally, I wouldn't, put myself into any pyramid scheme, because I do not know at what level that my investment is going to be placed and what risk I'm putting my investment in. So pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes, people have to be really, really careful about what they have been offered.
Okay, interesting. Listeners, I hope that you are being educated. Like we told you, we edutain. So we not just entertain you, we educate you as well. And this afternoon we have Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services and Money Man, educating us on Ponzi and pyramid schemes. Now, this brings to a question here, which most people who are listening to us are eager to ask. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Is it a Ponzi scheme? Is it a pyramid?
Right. So, before we look at Bitcoin, let's look at to help us answer that question.
Okay.
What are the characteristics of a Ponzi scheme that we look at? So, one, it offers high returns with little or no risk. Two, it offers overly consistent returns. So they'll tell you every week you get your money, you get this amount, and or every month you get this amount. Usually, always Ponzi schemes are with unregistered investments.
Okay.
So they are not on any known market. They are not regulated by the XDA, for example. They are issued or they are run by unlicensed sellers. So it's all done, in secrecy. You won't have a high street, bank or investment office, selling or advertising or displaying this openly. It's usually done by word of mouth, where there's no trace to this, because it's an illegal activity. And then you also find that when at a point when you want to take out your investments, it's always difficult. They will put in your way impediments to stop you from taking out your investment. So these are the main characteristics of a Ponzi scheme. None of these actually relate to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, like other what we call cryptocurrencies or digital currencies, are currencies that are traded on on markets, on currency markets, just as we have dollars, euros, CDs, or any other currency in the world. But Bitcoin is digital. Bitcoin is not issued by any central government. Bitcoin is also, an investment that is a high risk investment because it has high return. Bitcoin can be used to purchase any commodity. So if for example I want to purchase a car and the seller, accepts to take payment or consideration in a form of Bitcoin, it can be used as a medium of exchange. So Bitcoin there are other cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin has risen to the top and has become very popular because of its special characteristic in the way that the Bitcoin is mined. Yes, so Bitcoin, in effect, to answer your question, Bitcoin is not a Ponzi scheme, but it's a high risk investment.
High risk investment. So I know. You don't have the legal back. You cannot tell somebody to go and invest there. Will you advise people to take the risk and invest there?
Well, that is what you said. It depends. It's a high risk investment. It depends on what your risk appetite is. Bitcoin price at the moment is very high. It used to be higher than it is currently. So, and the trend, they'll tell you that the market trend shows that it's very volatile. It goes very high one moment and drops very low the next moment. So you need to know what you're doing, and you need to know at what point to join to buy Bitcoin and at what point to sell. You need to know what you're doing in this market. Don't just go in, because everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Understand what the risks are before you do it.
Okay, one Bitcoin today, I've just checked it, is at 39,453 pounds. That's the value for one. Okay, yes. So it's quite a big investment there.
It is a big investment because a lot of people have put money into it, and the demand for Bitcoin is very high, and the value is determined by demand and supply. So as more people demand or want to buy Bitcoin, the higher the price goes. So if you've got some Bitcoin, then you can sit back and watch other people drive the price up for you. So it's like any other investment, but high risk.
Like any other high risk investment. Thank you. Before we run up now, if somebody is finding themselves in some of these Ponzi schemes, now what do you think they should do at the moment to get themselves either out of it, or can they report to maybe the regulator or the SPAA, as you said? Can they report something of the sort to them to see whether they can retrieve their money or cut their costs or their losses and just move on?
Yeah, Ponzi schemes are illegal, so I would advise you to try and do whatever you can to take your investments out, and then perhaps you can report them to the FCA, so they can stop, duping other people.
Okay.
But by all means, try and get your investment out first, because you don't want to alarm them to run away with your money, because these things are run underground. There are no official sources where you can go for redress, and because they are illegal, if you go and you lose your investment, it's not supported or guaranteed by the government or anybody. You've lost your investment, and that's it.
A friend did made a statement. He said, if you use fake currency to go and buy cocaine, and you are swindled, you cannot report to the police. So something that, if you are listening to us, take a cue from that and make sure that you are doing things that is above water. Okay, Mr. Tabiri, your final remarks, and then you can put your contact details and everything across before we bring the program to a close.
Yes, so my final remarks are, we should not be afraid to go to look at various investments on the market, but make sure that you go to the right person, you go to the right source. Don't be greedy and be attracted by overly consistent or high return, because that is the attraction. That is the way they attract people to invest in these things. Go to the right places, get there. You can even approach your bank and then say, I've got this amount of money and I want to invest it. Where is the best place to do it? And there are financial advisors in there who can, show you what the options are and what the risk and the returns are on various investments, and then you can make the decision. Okay. If you want any advice on any of the issues that we've discussed, I'm happy to do so. You can contact me on 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can reach me on email at dan@gilaccountants.com.
Also, that was Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, this afternoon, bringing you the money hour. And today, he was looking at the Ponzi schemes. Yes. Have you been bitten by anything of the sort? If you have, oh my goodness, our apologies to you. But hey, get in touch with him as he did put his contact details there, and make sure that you hit to the advice. Somewhere, somehow, it does help. What about that? Okay, so this is where we're going to bring the program to a close for today. Let me acknowledge each and every one of you who joined on or in on the program. Bengani Ogumboya, Adebezi, Adebambo, Adeneyi, Adeyenka, Eve Afifa, and all you wonderful Terrio Moalede, and all you wonderful people who joined us today. I want to salute each and every one of you, and I say have a lovely jubbly afternoon and a nice weekend. Those of you in London, get yourself some cold drinks and some ice creams. Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be hot this afternoon, but tomorrow there's going to be rain. As to whatever time it's going to be, that we're not very, very sure of. But on that note, let me say thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until I come your way on Monday with another edition of the Morning Show, it's been me, Archie, saying have a top of the day and a very lovely weekend. Let's take a commercial break, and after that I'll bring you a tune.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference, Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobalorg. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie, Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Hungry man say fix the country. Belleful say fix yourself. Who really needs fixing? Now how? Him. Yeah. Come on. Country hot. Country hot. Plenty no get what to eat. Even picking they feel the heat. So we ought to pray for change. Gala. Country hot. Country tough. Everybody feel the heat. Even picking they feel the heat. So we ought to pray for change. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. We fix the country. We say fix yourself. Yeah. Tell me who and you and me be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. No. Tell me who. Tell me me. Tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. And we get to go do plenty cocoa, but we still they borrow they go to get a job. It be whom you know. We live like crabs in a barrel. Shayo, rupa beshi and low. Hey, we say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. No. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I said now you great. We say fix the country. You say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Your minimum wage be hand to mouth. The government know the pay for months. From the same pay, Peking go chop. The fees go come. Yari be ball. And civil servants then magicians building mansions after few years. Who cares about the coffers? And each man living for himself. We say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Now who be the country? You be the country, me be the country. Fix yourself. Well, I agree. Hey, we say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. No. Tell me who, tell me me. Now you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Charlie.